Hello and welcome. I'm going to take a look at the Observer's Everyman crossword. As you can see, this is number 4109 and it's the 20th of July. So as ever, I publish this a week later because there's a prize attached to it. The clock is ticking. I can't get that reset. Not too worried. Had a mistake in last week's. If you see that on the channel, then you can see it in the description what the correct answer is. I'll put that down there. But otherwise, I don't think there's a lot to say really. I'm just going to crack on. So, messed up drink request for the most part. Messed up drink request for the most part. Is that going to be... Drink request is around, mess up, not sure. Okay, step, not half, travel with long steps. Stride, step, not half is stride, travel is to ride, yeah, I think so. Recover from intense blow, sporting affliction. Recovered from intense blow, is that an anagram? It's the right number of letters for an anagram. Sporting affliction. So that'll be something like cauliflower ears, I suppose, won't it? Tennis elbow, that's the one. Tennis elbow. Meet up with Carol. She's not on time. Meet up with Carol. She's not on time. I'm not sure what to do with Carol because it's a song, I suppose. To sing is normally Carol, isn't it? Meet up with Carol. She's not on time. So let's put sing there for Carol. Go singing. Let's look at this then. Barbara is, we're told, nearly vertical. Very nearly vertical. Barbara is. I don't know that's going to work there. This one gives another polish. Two snubs is rub. Rubbish. To rubbish gives another. I think that's rubbish, but to snub someone is to rubbish them. But not entirely sure. Bish is normally rot. Maybe it's not. Maybe it gives another as something. Okay, this one, prostrate, eyes closed, is probably down. We'll keep nobleman warm in bed. Prostrate is down, I'd think. Eyes closed. Down something the. Okay, let's go back to the acrosses. Proportions half if that's taking 50%. I think that's a ratio, isn't it? But why is that ratio? Ration. Proportions half if that's taking 50%. What's going on there? If. Not convinced by that either. I'm going to put that much in there just to remind myself. Let's keep going on the crosses. Deliveries 100 tons as Ham will do this. Deliveries are overs normally. 100 would be 1C over sick. That doesn't work. 100 tons is kilo weight. Kilo KWT. As Ham will do this over. It's over act, isn't it? Over ACT. It's a hammy actor. ACT, yep. Alas, sadly, that sounds like double anagram really. Alas, sadly, as an alternative, admitted Everyman, ultimately no hoper. It's always not like dead loser, isn't it? Lose, loss. As an alternative is else. Alternative is else. Admitted Everyman is I. Alternative could be or. Admitted Everyman, so Everyman is me or I probably. Ultimately no hoper is an R. Who knows? Okay, primarily comes in P, cryptic, there we are. Like this, I guess that's just a primary clue. Bags, as I said, if you ever do the crossword, this Everyman, you're getting nowhere. Look for the primary clue. Bugs of salt in small amounts. Bags of salt, sorry. sachets I want to put there, but sachets would fit. Why would that be small amounts? Small as S. Amounts, sachets. Salt is Na. Bags are satchels. Don't think so. Small amounts, SNA. Amounts are bits or lots. Bags are sn. I mean, does the NA have to be there? Probably. Small. Come back to that one. I'm going to leave the S there. I have a feeling about that. Commit burglary with mafiosi uptown. In the end, I'll sing. Blimey. Just have a look, see if there's a kind of a endings acrostic there. Commit is rob. It's Robin, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Against church. Plonk. So the IN coming from the end of mafiosi uptown. Against church. Boxing plonk. Dutch sold. I mean. Okay. Against church. Against is anti. Oh, trying to spell correctly. Anti-ch. Anti-boxing plonk. Okay, so put CH or CE. Boxing is to plonk is red. Anti-red. Against could be con, I suppose. Con. Red. Okay. Oxford University admitting a German bill and later another. That's capital. Is that Wagadoodoo? OU. How do you spell Wagadoodoo? A German. Bill is an ad. Wagadoodoo, which is the capital of, I want to say Burkina Faso. It's somewhere down in that region. I think it's Burkina Faso. Not sure Wagadoodoo. I have no idea how to spell Wagadoodoo. OU, omitting a German. Wagadoodoo. Is it just a Bill and later another. I can't remember how to spell it, but I'm fairly sure that's the answer. Departures that are listed in charts. Charts are tables. Departures are leaves. Departures leaves that are listed in charts. Don't know. Group of performers without safety quit is a no-net. Oh, it's not a no-net. Non-net. Okay, groups of performers, non-nets. There we are. Seen that a few times to get that quickly. So involved a decision for intellectuals, say Cockney. So this is probably the rhyming bell with whatever that one over there, 7 down is. So involved decision for intellectuals, says Cockney. Where's my 2? So I've got 2 to something to the air brain or something. Intellectuals, I have seen Cockney version of Cockney intellectuals. It doesn't have to be to thee, does it? But I suspect it is. Let's just leave that alone for a bit. Horned god is Pan. A seer. Panacea cure-all, yeah. Aces. Actually, I don't even know what that is. Pan is horned god. Wicked is ace, and 1 is a. Okay, 1 a day. Mysterious giant mice exploding. Enigmatic. Okay, that totally blows my carol to sing theory out. Unfortunately, enigmatic, which probably makes sense because the barber that's coming up, I've got Barber is. The only barber I can think of is Sweeney Todd. We're told nearly vertical, stern, barber. Very nearly vertical. back to that one. Right, gives another polish to snubs is re. Is it re? Another polish or Polish? I don't know about how do I reborn? Rebukes. Bukes? That was rebukes. Well, I don't know. Prostrate is down. What keep what? Okay, so yeah, down, as in an eider down, I think would keep you warm. Down. A nobleman. So it's going to be a play on Earl or Lord or Duke. Can't see that. Okay. Further allusion, regularly unnecessary. Luso. L-U-S-O? No. Further. Also. Okay, let's try and get that correctly. A-L-S-O, yeah. Alternate letters, okay. Cut string taken from Dachshund. Dachshund. Okay, let's take out that then, because probably it's just shun, I suppose. Cut. Is there a different? I think shun is probably the only word that's a hidden word there. Source of music, that's long and high. Source of music is an M. I don't know about that. That's long and high is. Do something like atmosphere. That's long. No. Okay, what's this? Perhaps Jack's a funny fellow. Is a card name. Jack is a card, fair enough. Spoon is ridden at speed for quantity of ale. Tankard, Cantard. Tankard? Don't think so. Tin. Ridden at speed is pace. Taste. Come back to that as well. Okay, succeed in rev support, getting help, posting notices. Succeed in with rev support. Getting help, posting notices. Don't know what that is. Three letters ending in N. Okay, small fuss, flipped over non-alcoholic, drink, non-alcoholic. Tiff. Spat. Small fuss is a spat. We had spat last week, didn't we, I think? Small fuss is a tiff, but I don't think that's a flipped over. So yeah, I think it's like put tiff in there and then reverse it to become whatever. So that's what flipped over means, but obviously not. Drink, non-alcoholic. Tea, coffee, or is it something more complicated than non-alcoholic, meaning take TT out of a drink? Yeah. Right, well, it's down to last down, maybe. Changing sides in boorish form. Changing sides in boorish form. I mean, I think that probably just means change the L and the R in a word for boorish. Boorish is loutish, rude. Form is shape. Won't that be shape? Because I haven't got any sides there, really, have I? Well, Everyman hasn't done us many favours today. Mess up drink request for the most part. Sample, tipple, ample, trample, ruffle, mess up. Drink request is a drink request for the most part. Can't see what that is. Okay, let's get into this one, because this one I've got quite a lot of letters now. Meet up with Carol. It's just an anagram of meet and Carol. She's not on time. Does that have to be a T? No, it doesn't. Latecomer. Is it not on time? I've got no idea why that is. Is that just an anagram of late Carol? I think it is, isn't it? Latecomer. Barber. I can't want to put shear. Yes, that's a shear. So you get a shear drop, which would be spelt differently, double E, I think. So it'd be nearly vertical, sound like indicate we're told shear. Okay, go with that. And barbers shear things, people's heads. So involved a decision for the intellectuals, says Cockney. Something like a wagadoodoo. See if I can figure out how to spell that. Okay, so Oxford University. And then I need a word for often. That's maybe where I'm going wrong. Wag-a-doo-doo. I think it ends ADO. I'm not entirely sure about that. Wag-a-doo-doo. Wag. Is it wag? You often Oxford University, and then often omitting a German. Wagadoo. What's often then? Let's have a look at this one. Tonight. Speed ridden at speed for quantitative val is a quantitative val is still not getting there. Proportions half if that's taking 50%, so I think that's the H, so that's TH. Proportion is half if that's taking that's okay, so what's this one again? Alas, as an alternative, admitted Everyman, ultimately no oper. Also ran is normally a no oper. Why would that be also ran? Where's Everyman in there? Alas is, or is that, is an alternative. Alas is going around at AN. Everyman, N from Everyman, ultimately, gives you the thing. I think this is rebukes, but I can't. Gives another polish to snubs. Snubs, if that's rebukes, what would that be? Keith. Proportion is half. I don't think that can be a K word. So let's see what I've got off this. This one down here. Source of music, that's long and high. I'll put Alsatian in there, that isn't going to fit. High. Let's take the S off. I'm just going to swig a tea, excuse me. Source of music, beginning with A. Accordion. Accordion doesn't. Does accordion fit? Accordion would fit. It might even give me an I in there. That's a good place. Oh, on the wrong look. Why would that be accordion though? Accordion. I can't see why that would be long and high. Still think wordplay there helps me really. But let's have a quick look at this one. Bags of salt in small amounts. Well, I thought it was sachets, didn't I? So let's go down the sachets route for a minute. Sachets. Small fuss. S. Flipped over drink. Fuss is a... Is that Saki. Ado is a fuss. Soda. Now ado. Yes, good. Right. Well, that's my bags. Is S's. Satchels, sachets. Ending in D against church. Oh, there's D for Dutch. Sold is against is con. So that's probably CED for church. Con. Boxing plonk is van, I think. Convinced. Sold. Yeah, you sold on something. Okay, good. That in there destroys any idea that it might be an accordion going in there. Changing sides in boorish form. Changing sides. Crude would be maybe boorish. But that would become clued, which wouldn't work. This is a C word. Succeed in with rev support. Okay, I've got 3 letters of that. I don't know if that's right, do I? Wagadoodoo. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll be looking up how to spell wagadoodoo, I think, probably. I don't want to, but it may have to happen. Succeed in is to win with rev support. Rev might be an R. I don't know really. Rev support. Getting help. Posting notices. Help is aid. Let's put that. Posting notices would be seeing. Notices seeing. Bills. Succeed in with rev support. Is there an in there? Could be to win, couldn't it? Where would the W come from though? Can't see that. Bags of salt. I was thinking that was sachet. It can't be sachets now. Oh, it could be. No, it can't. Sat shells. Okay. Don't know where I've ever had the idea that could fit. Small amounts are. I was thinking it could be there, wasn't I? And if I'm knowing, however, seeing how Everyman works, salt in small amounts feels likely that wants to be an NA in there somewhere. Well, to get the bags, which are holdalls. Holdalls, no. The fact it ends in S makes me think amounts. I need a word for amounts, which are bits or lots. Let's try bits. Doesn't quite fit. It's also music. That's long and high. At least I'm comfortable with also around convinced and non-ets. Those are correct. This one, departures that are listed in charts. Well, it's almost certainly going to be a vowel. Almost certainly. I don't think it can normally be there. Listed. I wonder if listed means to be leaning over, or if it's just a straightforward. Emails. Emails wants to fit in there in my head. I can't see what that be. Emails. In charts. Pie charts. Exits or departures. Just have a quick look at this one at the top. One across. Mess up drink. Request for the most part is it's really hard with that first starting letter there. Frappe, rapid, rappe. Could there be a double P there for? I can't think of any words that really fit other than frappe though. Meaning mess up, which would be to see. I think most likely is an L. Could be an S, I suppose. Cops, caps, elapse, mess up. Drink request. It's got two. So is thus. So involved a decision into the. So what's this word? It's got Y something B. Because I'm happy with cryptic and Robin. Again, the thing about Everyman is actually, generally speaking, you can break the clues down afterwards. It's just getting to them in the first place that's the problem. It's got something Y, something B, something O, something for an 8-letter word. What fits in there? I mean, something hip, rip, by. There's not many things that go between those two words, unless it's a hyphenated kind of word. So I don't think that's got to be the, hasn't it? To the, I think it's to the vi, to the by. Eyebrow. Let's say eyebrow, yeah. I have seen this before now. Eyebrows. So involved. Up to the eyebrows is the word. Yes. Long time since I've seen that. I have seen eyebrow and highbrow being the Cockney version of that. I said ruffle, didn't I? But it isn't ruffle. Drink request is a tipple. Rumple. Rumpley. Okay. There we go. Right. So if that's up to the eyebrows, up to the eyebrows, down at. We've got 3-3. Gosh, I've got an R there. Down for the count. There we are. Down for the count, which is the phrase you use in boxing. What's this? A fifth? Proportion is a fifth. Half. Oh, it's a hidden word. Boom. There it is. Okay. Rebuffs. Buffs are, yeah, buffs is polishing. Good. Look how quickly that's suddenly gone in. That little block, anyway. Good old Waggadoo there, finishing with a U. Okay. Waggadoo. Often admitting. Now I wish I knew how to spell Waggadoo. Oxford University is OU. Ah, okay, so Oxford University is OU, the start and end. I'm sure it starts OUG there anyway. Often omitting a German. No, maybe it's a German. Waggadoo. AD. And later another. I think it ends in that. Waggadoo. If only I could remember. Let's go with that being an A-N. That's an A. A something N. Is that likely? Not really. Rev support is the chaplain. 4 and 3 though. There's not much would fit in an A something N fit apart from a girl's name like Anne. Orn. So it makes me think it is an ADO. Again, it can't be U either because that doesn't really work. I mean, own would be the most likely. Not sure about that. Okay, well, we've got H here, haven't I? So, small amounts. If that was NA for salt, that would be NA. Snatches. Bags of salt. Bags are. Bags can mean lots, though, can't it? You know, you've got small amounts is a bit, but bags can also mean plenty. Is that the way we're going? Put plenty into. Plenty of salt in small amounts. don't know. Still don't know. Departures that are listed in charts. What do you get in charts? Tables. Hits. A-E-E. This Spooner's ridden at speed. Ridden for quantity of ale. Quantity, you know, you'd get tons which are barrels. Would that be quantity of ale? Not really. A yard of ale. Tankard. Tankard, cantered. Cantered, yeah, tankard is tankard. Just a very poor bit of Spoonerisming. Tankard, cantered. Oh gosh. Maybe it isn't Wagadoodoo. Maybe I'm totally wrong about this. But capital, it is a capital Wagadoodoo. O-U. Omitting A German. Now I think A German is just AG. Wagadu. And later another. What's fitting in there? Is it OU? Oxford University. Maybe it's just Oxford University twice. Maybe Oxford University often is OU. And OU at the end. AGAD. A Wagadu. I cry at this point, would that be okay? This looks like B-sides here. Something like B-sides. Departures that are listed in charts. A-sides. I think that's class, isn't it? Form is class and crass. Yeah, class and crass. This is sides. So is it A-sides or B-sides? The chart. The chart parade has A-sides. Is it just an anagram listed? Side, no. I think that's A-sides, but I'm not convinced. I'm going to put it there because I've really Wagadoodoo's destroyed my confidence about this puzzle. Okay, OU often. Omitting A German, AG. Bill is an AD, and later another. Now, where's my? I've got 3 letters to fit. I need that one down, don't I, really? If that's D, then maybe Rev Support would be Don. Posting notices. Succeeding is done. Do. Posting notices Don. Yeah, that kind of looks right, the OUAGAD, but I'm not entirely sure. Source of music. That's long and high. My brain cannot think of the words I'm trying to think of. Altitude was the word I was looking for. Altitude. Source of music is... Is it an anagram that's long? I don't think it is, because there's only one N. Because high, well, long, high, and. It's got 2 N's in long and, but because high could be an anagram indicator. I don't think it is. Bag salt in small amounts. Snatches. That isn't going to fit. I would have thought there's not much goes in there actually. Swathes. What would swathes be? And why would it be swathes? Swathes is bags. Salt. in small amounts. I can't really see that being right. That's a bit of a biff that's wrong, I think. Okay, let's leave the S there though, because I think that might be correct. Which makes this, what, Ascension as source of music. L. That's long. I mean, long could be to ache. And high would be... I'm just trying things now, if you hadn't realised. But something as long as a mile, a... So I've actually only got one, two, three clues to do, plus learn how to spell wagadoodoo, which I think is correct as the answer, but not sure how to spell it. Succeeding is to... Succeed is S. With rev support, well the rev is the bishop, is the 4 and 3. It can't be win because that doesn't fit. If that was D, and who knows, that'd have to be Dan or Den or Din or Don. Don would be putting something on. Said aid, getting help, posting notices. Said sort of rev support is reverend, doesn't fit. Reverend. Rev support, I don't understand what rev support means really. Pulpit. Another attempt to try and figure this out. A German bill, and later another. Now, another bill might not mean it's the same. Spelling wagger. So that's D-O-U there, but wagger, do-do. D-O-U, D-O-U maybe. Okay, well, we've got often, haven't we? So maybe it's that. I think before I submit I will be looking up how to spell wagadoodoo, just to be sure, but it may turn out that with these I will be okay. In which case that has to be Dan, Den, Dun, Din or Don, doesn't it? Don feels like the most likely. Don is to wear. Posting notices though. Help feels like dot aid to me there. Ooh, said on, paid. Succeed, paid, fall, paid. If that was a P for paid, I don't know what it would be, but rev support is a V, isn't it, actually? If you take V to be the supporting letter of rev. Just wondering if I can get something out of here. And the answer is probably not, I think. Gosh, don't know. What's that going to be? Source music, long and high. I don't know if that's a shun word, but it doesn't fit. I'll write that out horizontally to help myself out a bit. Maybe not help myself. Afternoon. What would that be? High. Afternoon high? It can't be afternoon because the end. I was misreading. After source music is that's long. Yearn. Down again. Moon. Moon's eye. I know that. I mean, if it's salt going in, then that has to be NA, doesn't it, somewhere? I can't see that's an NAH word. So NA can only go there, really. And I can't see what that word would be. Snare. I don't know where that would be going, so I don't think salt in that way is right. So bags of salt, maybe it's just a straight bit of wordplay. A bag of salt. Bags of salt are somethings, and small amounts are somethings. Or S with small amounts are. I suppose that could be a T, could it? Slights, say. Weights. That was GHT. I'm actually just kind of coming towards the point where my brain is beginning to not lose interest, but struggle to concentrate now. Shots. Peace. Spites. Spites. Splites. Well, if that was small, again, as I'm always saying it might be, then what that make that one down A something S. Source of music is abs. Oh golly, absin, non-it. There's something wrong there actually, because where's that D coming from? Could be AD actually, could it? AD, well, AD. So, Oxford University, often is OU, admitting AGAD. But then where do I get my other Oxford University from? And later another. So I don't think that's correctly done yet. What I can do? It's either DOU or DU. Salt cellars are bags. Asen. That probably makes more sense if that isn't going to be a O there. Okay, I'm going to put the video on pause and go make up tea and have a break from this because it's just a bit too tiring. I'll be back. Right, after something of a longish break, I mean, I think it was 48 minutes when I left, and it's at 1 hour 27 now, so it's about a 40-minute break when I sat in the garden because it was nice and sunny, whereas we've had a few bursts of showers of rain this morning, so it's quite nice to get out and get some fresh air. I have tried not to think about the puzzle too much, but two things did occur to me. One is that asides, I was wondering why that's a departure, and I think it's a departure from the conversation, so you might say something as an aside to someone, which is departure from the conversation. Listed in charts as A-sides, I'm sure about that. And good old Waggadoo, I think I'm saying it wrong. I think it's Waggadoo-goo. Still doesn't really hit Waggadoo-goo, which kind of helps me. A German and another Bill and another later doesn't really. If that was G, then that would have to be gin, wouldn't it? Succeeding would be helping notices, passing notices. Waggadoo-goo. I think it is Waggadoo-goo though. There's another Oxford University there, maybe. Another one there, but not sure about that letter there really. But that would make sense as to why it's not an ad. But it still doesn't really. Omitting a German, Bill, and another later suggests there should be another ad in there somewhere. Waggadoo. If that's a G, then that would have to be Jen or Gin, I think, really. Gun. Oh, what about gun? Helping, but I'm thinking Reverend's support might be gin. I don't know. The communal wine at the vicarage could be gin. I don't think so. But gun. Succeeding would be good going. Doesn't really feel like I know one going there. 4-3. I don't know what that could be. A bill. A single letter. I think that probably is OU there, and that's probably OU there. It's also music. That's long and high. Well, ascension keeps coming to my mind, but ascension. I don't know what ascension is really. Might be a source of music. Could really do with these two, one of these two. I feel like these two clues here, 17 and 18, are the most likely to be solved. Not that I'm close to that either. So anyway, after that little bit of insight, 2 or 3 minutes of insight, I'm going to put it on pause and actually just sit and try and work it out, rather than bore you watching it. Okay, well, just a little update. I mean, I'm half an hour on since I last looked, and the only thing I've really learnt is the fact that I've been salt as Na, actually salt is NaCl, sodium chloride, sodium is Na, so that's definitely out on that. Bags, I did wonder if bags could be catches. You bag something, you catch it, but then salt in small amounts. I can't see what the it's kind of like sachets there, but it doesn't quite work. I also thought about, well, when I put C there, because for a while I thought this was going to be ascension, but then I realised actually I'm spelling it badly, because ascension would be I-O, and I'm fairly sure there's no I in Waggadoo-goo. I think it's Waggadoo-goo. Fairly sure about that. But we'll come back to talk about that in a minute. But if that was, then I was thinking, well, maybe that would be clothes, but can't see why that would be clothes, which is why I went on to catches. Swathes, I think I said earlier. Again, bags. There's bags and there's swathes. Salt in small amount is patches, isn't it? Patches? Bags, patches. Is that right? Well, you get patches of ice, you don't get patches of salt, do you? You get pinches. Bags, pinches. Okay, hurrah! We've got somewhere at last. So I was looking at this, wondering if this is... Okay. Great, pinches. Finally got somewhere. What does this mean? Succeed in with Rev support. Well, I mean, wondering if Rev support is Reverend is Right Reverend, double R, Doctor of Divinity is double D, which might allow me to get Wagadu. I'm fairly sure that's Wagadugu. So for a while, I mean, obviously just put pinches in there, but I was thinking that was maybe paid gun, but couldn't quite work out why it be, because I keep thinking that's aid, but for help posting notices. Nail gun now. Nail gun helps you do that. I don't understand why. I guess I can't. Oh, Rev support is a none, is it? Succeed in with Rev support. Not sure, but I'm surely sure that's going to be Wagadugu. Wagadu. I'm going to check that out before I submit it. But anyway, so if that's the case, what's this going to be? Well, no guarantee that's right. O-U-O, but I'm closer. Something P, something N. O-N. Long and high. I keep thinking high for noon, but Aspen, action, Alpine. It's not less though. Alpine horn. No, Alpine horn. I think can't be Alpine horn, and yet pine is right. Source music that's long and high. Well, it's an Alpine horn. But how do you and to pine is to long, and Alpine. I'm so close. Because it'll be high up in the Alps. I can't fit it in though. Alpine horn. Alpine horn. Is it Alpine horn? Pining is to long, and it is a lot. Well, it's a long instrument. There's no doubt about that. It's just one of those long kind of trumpet things that are about 10 foot in length, and you see the people on the side of the hill. So that must be a horn. Maybe pine for long is just a bit of a misdirection. Aspen horn. I have to say I'm not sure I know the name of this. So I think at the moment I may be going to have a look at how to spell Wagadugu. In fact, given that I think horn is correct, I'm going to look up now how to spell Wagadugu on my phone. So bear with me for a second, and I shall confirm or deny whether it's a capital of Burkina Faso. Wagadugu, spelled correctly. Oh, as I've put on screen, O-U-A-G-A-D-O-U-G-O-U. Okay. Capital of Burkina Faso. Good. And I think this is an Alpine horn, therefore. I'm going to go with that. And again, I can look that up on my phone because I want to submit it correctly. After all that work. So if you'll bear with me for a second while I look these things up. Alpine horn. Alpenhorn. Oh, it's an Alpen horn. Okay, there you go. That's why I couldn't get it. Right, so there we go. Well, how long did I take off? I took off about 40 minutes. So what was that, an hour and 25 of solving with a little bit of help on spelling Alpenhorn, which is fair enough because I'm going to submit it in a minute. So there we go. I think that's all done. I'm just going to submit it, and then I will be editing out my email details, obviously. Right, and now I shall explain, go through and explain what I understand here. So, to mess something up is to rumple it. A drink is rum, and a request is a plea, but we need to take the A off of plea because it's for the most part. A step, not half, so half of step is ST, but we don't want half it, so we don't want the EP half. To travel is to ride, and to travel with long steps is to stride. I think here we have recovered from as an anagram indicator that intense blow is an anagram of tennis elbow, which is a sporting affliction. Meet, I think meet and Carol is an anagram of late comer. I haven't actually checked the letters there, I think it is. So up with is your anagram indicator, and a late comer is not, well, she's not on time. A fifth is a proportion. So, it's just a section of something, it's proportion. 1 in 5, proportion 1 to 5 ratio. Half if that has got fifth as a hidden word in it. And half if that is 10 letters. So take 50% of those letters away, I think is what it's saying. Take 5 of the 10 letters away to leave you with fifth. Deliveries are an over in cricket. 100 tons is ACT, A, and then 100 tons is counterweight, I think, or C is Latin 100, T for tons. But I think it used to be abbreviated to 1CT. So 1 is A in this clue, and I think it's also in the panacea clue, as we shall see in a bit, that if you think I'm going to have one a day, one per day, I'm going to have a one of these, one per A. I can't quite give you a good example, but one for A is fairly well used. Alas, sadly, is the ALS with an A, so anagram of alas, with alternative, which is or, admitted to that, and then the final letter, the ultimate letter of Everyman, is an N put on the end, and a no-hoper is an also ran. Primarily clue, thankfully this is the one you can always rely on for the Everyman crossword. So we've got an acrostic as indicated by primarily of those words, and yeah, a cryptic is a clue like that. If you bag something, you pinch it. So yes, colloquialism slang for pinching or nicking something. Bags. Salt in small amounts is of course a pinch of salt, which is so obvious now. I'm looking at it, thinking about it. It didn't seem obvious for that hour or so that I looked at it, stared at it. To commit a burglary is to rob, and then we've got with in the end is saying take the last letter of mafioso, which is an I, and the last letter of uptown, which is an N, and a robin will sing because it's a bird. Against is a con. Church is CE, so the CE there, Church of England. So that's boxing. Plonk. Plonk is van, which is a type of wine. Well, so it's a colloquialism slang for wine. And D for Dutch on the end gives you overall gives you convinced. I've been convinced of this idea. I've been sold this idea. Good old Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. I don't quite. I mean, I understand the general pistol we've got OU, Oxford University often. So we've got OU, and OU is admitting a German and then add for Bill, and then and later another is saying we need to add a German in there, which in the word order doesn't really work for me, but give it for what it is. Obviously, as I say, Ouagadougou is the capital of Burkina Faso. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Departures are aside, so departure from the conversation, I might just tell you an aside. And A-sides, in the days of records, when records had A-sides and B-sides, will be the things that are listed in the charts. The hit parade, as the old people call it. Groups of performers, so we've got groups is a plural, so a group of 9 people is a nonette, like you get octet is a group of 8, a nonette, so groups are nonettes, and if they've got safety equipment, then they're doing it with no nets. So involved. Okay, so involved just means I'm up to the eyebrows with all this work I've got to do. I've got so much I'm doing. I'm so involved. A decision for intellectuals is a decision. So it's up to the highbrows, but Cockneys say highbrows as eyebrows. So that's that, and that's part of the rhyming pair with down. Well, sorry, it's not a rhyming pair this week. It's a paired with down for the count. So we've got up to the eyebrows and down for the count, but they aren't rhymers. They're just a pair in that sense. The horn god is Pan. Wicked is Ace. That's Wicked. That's Ace Man. And one again, as I say, one a day, one per day. A for one. I think one can be Ace in cards as well. So A that sense. And a panacea. Sorry, a panacea will cure all. Mysterious is enigmatic, which is an anagram of giant mice. Explaining your anagram indicator. There's a nice simple clue within today's first simple clue, I'd say. Barber is, we're told, very near vertical. Well, Barber is, I don't understand what the is doing there. But if you shear off hair off, then barbers shear off stuff. Barber is shearing, I don't know. We're told is tends to sound like a very near vertical, which is, I've probably done it the wrong way, haven't I? It's probably shear with double E there. Barber is, we're told, yeah, that's probably double E. So I've probably got that wrong. Blast. Again, very near vertical will be shear. So anyway, that's the wordplay, and I've probably got it wrong. Gives another polish to, so gives another polish is rebuff. So if you're buffing something up, you're rubbing it. To do another one is to rebuff it, and to snub someone is to rebuff them. Prostrate is down, or eyes closed. To prostrate, down for the eyes closed. Prostrate, down for the count. It means you've gone to sleep. Down for the count. And what'll keep a nobleman warm in bed? So the nobleman is the count, like Count Dracula is a nobleman, supposedly. And down, either down, will keep you warm in bed. So down for the count. Further is also. Illusion regularly is the first, third, fifth and seventh letters of also. Illusion, sorry. Regularly unnecessary is saying take out the even letters, that to leave you those odd ones. To cut, if you cut off someone, then I guess you shun them. A string taken from is saying there's a hidden word in Dachshund, which is not that hidden because it's there, shun. The source of music that's long and high is the alpenhorn, so that is one of those very, very long horns, 10, kind of, I would say they're about 10 foot long, where the person yodeling, or not yodeling, blowing it is kind of stood about very high up, and it's just very long kind of horn thing. I think the fact that long is like pine is probably a misdirection on my part. But anyway, that's what the clue's about alpenhorn. Perhaps the jack. The jack is a card, one of the cards in the pack of cards, and a funny fellow. Well, he's a card, you'd say. Spooner. So we've got a spoonerism ridden at speed. So if something's ridden at speed, it's I can't remember what it's cantered. Horses canter. They cantered. So spoonerism becomes cantered, tankard, tankard, cantered, tankard. Which is a quantity of ale, tankard. Right, succeed in. Oh gosh, what is going on here with rev support? Getting help and posting notices. Well, a nail gun will help you put up notices. I don't think that's true, really. I think most people put up notices just using a drawing pin in their hand. So that's a tough definition to work with. Succeed in with rev support. I'm going to pause the video while I think about this to myself. Okay, this succeeding with rev support is actually quite simple, really. If you succeed in something, then you nail it. You nail, and if you rev the engine of your car, you might be gunning the engine. So it's just nail gun that way. That's a nasty clue. What have I done? Oh, there we are. Small is S, and a fuss is an ado. Flipped over gives you odour. A non-drink. I mean, why they've bothered to put non-alcoholic there as a hint that a drink is given some of these other clues, I'm not sure really. Yeah, soda. And then finally, changing sides. So change the boorish is crass. Change the R to an L for right to left. Becomes class, which is form. So there you go. There we go. All done. 1 hour 25. I think Shear's wrong. I think everything else is right. Thanks for watching. Well, just to say, I think that was really hard. I mean, you saw me struggle for a long time. I mean, nail gun especially is just beyond cryptic. Pinches I probably should have been a lot quicker on. Alpenhorn, well, that's quite probably if I got it quite quickly once I had the pinches, so maybe I would have been quicker. Wagadoogoo, um, impossible to spell, and I don't think the parsing helps. But there's a lot of stuff I did in there where I was really struggling to. I had to get, I had to just get the answer and then back parse it, which is never as much fun as building them, I think. But yeah, got there eventually. Definitely the toughest one we've had in a few months. Thanks for watching.